Well, the garden's looking a mess. Got to do some gardening. If you look at it, really terrible. And the fairies are complaining. They want their garden to look like it should look. I've got fairies and butterflies on the wall. If you look carefully, this over here, there's my fairy. Little bees over there. There you can see them. Ah, there's one of the fairies over here. My little ohm over there. Another fairy up there. More butterflies on the wall, as you can see. There's one of the fairy doors. I've got them all over the show, but this is my garden, looking terrible. And I'm going to do some gardening to please the fairies. They're complaining. I'm sure they're complaining. They sent a butterfly to land on my back, and I'll show you exactly what happened the other day. Now I've done the garden. I think the fairies are all happy. There's my butterflies on the wall. You can see them all. Show you the fairies. There's another fairy sitting up there next to the bird, on the bird over there. That's the fairy. Fairy house. That's where the door for a fairy house. There's another fairy up there. There she sits. Very happy the garden's done. It's crazy. There's another one in the pot plant. In the plant. And here's another one sitting on top of her house. And the farm animals. My little bees. My little area where I like to sit and drink coffee early in the morning. There's another little gnome up here. He's busy sleeping. Done. I've did a few modifications to the bike. I've put up, like I've said before, I don't know what these things are called. This has been mounted to the bike. I've had to make a plan. I went and bought these things. I think they're to fit pipes or gutters or something. I'm not even sure. But anyway, they work. So I can mount a camera here. I can actually mount a camera on here. And then while I'm riding, I can actually mount a camera on there. And that's the bike I've got ready for the next trip, for the next practice run, which will be tomorrow morning. I've got my safety gear, my helmet, which I've decided to put on now when I'm riding with the roads that are so busy. So I'll be using a safety helmet from now on while riding on the streets. I've had to take the bell off. The bell was totally destroyed, not working at all. And then, yeah, now you can see the garden. And cut the grass nicely. It was looking a bit rough. I've blocked off the back here because dog May, she's destroyed a bit of the grass and stuff at the back there. And I just want that to take. It's been kind of wet. It's been, the start of the summer has been quite a wet one. But today is a lovely day, as you can see. And this rain stopped yesterday, giving me a bit of time to get the garden all nice and ready. That's it, and you can see I've had a slug walking on the grass. You get this, like, it looks like a piece of plastic coming on the grass. But this garden, when I started it, was just one big mud patch. Completely had no flowers, had these hedges, which I've trimmed down, but no flowers at all. Yes, and this is now how the garden looks. So I think I've done a pretty good job. It's also part of the training. Like I say, it took about 4 hours to get the garden just to look like this after I'd neglected it for over 3 weeks. But that was purely because of the rain. There's my lights that flash at night time. My little bees, as you can see over here, they switch on at night. It's quite colourful. I've got all the lights everywhere. And then I've got my little men creatures in the garden over here. My little statues hidden away. I need to put her out. I've got these little statues, and I like these little ornaments. Just gives it a sense. And then I've got my little go away little gnome, whatever he is. He goes over there. I'm actually missing a couple, if I'm not mistaken. I used to have a few more. I must actually have a look at them, see where they are. And then I've got my gem squashes growing over there. And like I say, this garden, it was actually, you won't believe it, folks, it was stone, just everywhere, and mud. No flowers, no nothing. And I was a bit sick last year, but while recovering, just with a little handheld spade, I did this whole garden. And a lot of effort and work went into this. But it took me roughly about a month to get it to start looking like this. It had no grass. I had to get in a whole bag, a ton of topsoil, which I eventually got and put it down. And then, yeah, the yellow fellow, all ready to ride. I've made a few adjustments, tightened the seat, realized you can actually fold up this bicycle. I never actually knew that, which is great, because now when I park her in the van, it makes a bit of a difference. So that will be great. And then lovely South African flag, the beautiful Irish flag, some extra colour, and that big bright greenish yellowish thing at the back there to make it grand. Now folks, the actual, something just crawled on the ear. What the heck was this? Anyway, that was gross. Anyway, then I've got my little lights I've put in the garden. There's some more of them over there. They'll charge up, and at night time I have lights in this particular area. There's a light over there, there's a light shining. And for what this garden looked like, I think I've done a very good job. And then you've got my shed right at the back there. I'm sure you can see it in the background. That I built myself as well, out of scrap wood. A little bit skew, if you had to really look at it. It's actually kind of skew, but it's strong, it's holding. And the fence I've made at the back there, right at the back there, is actually wild. It's a wild area. It belongs to the council or something. It's got nothing to do with the property, but I've cleaned it up nicely, and you can actually go in there and barbecue or sit in there and relax in there. It's actually quite neat. It's grass. It's just right against the wall where, when they did whatever they did to the garden, it yeah, they threw all the rubbish there. But I haven't had, it's like I say, it's expensive to go and dump things, but it's all more like bushes and weeds and things like that. So I've left it there. It's not a big issue. And then, yeah, what else can I say? Just to, some of my welcome signs are rusting. My little birdies are resting. Oh, you got this little gadget here. It's just all more of a decorative thing, and it was just to make the yard look a lot prettier. And then this lovely bench that I've actually got here, that I've actually where I come in and sit down and I have drink my coffee early in the morning, and it's quite nice. And I think I've done a good job for what I had, and for what this place actually looked like. So I'm very proud of my little garden. It's like having an extra room or place in my house. And if you look at this over here, this is actually a road, an alley. And it's between the house and the garden. And that's our house over there where we stay in. Well, clearly we stay in the house. And then I've just put these little pots and plants and got all these little creatures. It's really, I think the garden's quite pretty. It's what this is all about, the cycle trip. I'm going to, first of all, if you look in the back of the bike here, I've got a bag of bottles already. I don't even know how many is in here. About 10 or 11. That's it there. 15 cents. There's a 25-cent litre Coke bottle in here. This is bottles and cans that I've just picked up on the side of the road. And like I've said, every one of these cans, 100% towards charity in support of fighting world hunger. So far I've collected close to nearly €190 already at 15 cents a can, 25 cents a bottle. 25 cents a bottle, that's a 25-cent bottle. I think I've done pretty well. And this has just been in a few weeks. In this bag, what I do here, because of the cans and bottles, this is my PPE, personal protective equipment, my hat, my reflector vest. I'll also be driving with some glasses. I've got safety glasses and a couple of tools and things like that. That's in here. So from now on, I'll be definitely riding with a safety helmet. Not a good idea. Last time you saw me ride, I didn't have the safety helmet on, but looking at the what's happening and how busy the roads are, I definitely think I should be doing that. But anyway, that's the trike. I've had it ready. I've had to MacGyver a whole lot of things, the flags for visibility, and yeah, it's quite something. And that's about it. Shame little lad walked past now. Zimbabwean people, very nice people. They just stay a couple of houses down. My neighbour on my right side here is a lovely man. Really like him. The other ones across just from him, also lovely people. They actually gave me this table over here and these two silver chairs and those two pot plants right at the back there. So yeah, and a couple of other things. But I think it's looking well. I've spent a bit of money in this garden. That was last summer. And it's turned out to be quite nice. And it's really something. And that's it. Anyway, back to the story. What's going to be happening. In the end of July, I'm going to be cycling again from Gori, where we stay here in Gori. From my house, this is going to be the starting point, exactly where the bike is, right over here. And I'm going to be cycling all the way to Bray, where I work, for Ballymore, to our Ballymore site, Bray Ballymore Sea Gardens. And that's going to be, the aim of that is, the mission there, that mission is to collect and get people to help me sponsor canned food, that sort of thing, that people can put, that we can put aside for or give away for people in need in Ireland. So that's that plan. That's the reason I'm doing that trip. And then a month down the line, I'll probably go and do a trip down in Carlo, cycle another 70 kilos or so, 80 to 70 to 100 kilometers on the yellow fella, to Carlo, in support of the people in that particular area, to donate food and cans to them, to people in need, that really need it in Ireland. There's a lot of people struggling, but it's a worldwide thing. People are struggling, so why not? Makes you feel good, makes me feel good anyway. And then at the same time, these cans and that I pick up on the side of the road while cycling, that's the actual idea about the basket, is that I can put them in there. And like I've said, I've already collected €190, or close to that, if not maybe with what's still in the van, of bottles and cans. And you can do the math. It's a hell of a lot of bottles and cans I've collected. So this money, which obviously, because it's not a lot of money in Ireland, it's 25 cents. You look at this bottle, But this bottle will definitely be able to feed somebody somewhere in the world that really needs it. I'm talking of the likes of Gaza, Sudan, probably even Ukraine, South Sudan, possibly Libya even, Mali, the Congo, the DRC Congo, places like that, even South Africa, where there's a hell of a lot of children that actually die every year due to not having any food. And it's a bit strange for South Africa, because South Africa is a really rich country, but yeah, things aren't going so great in South Africa at the moment. The economy is down, people are struggling, fuel prices, it's just basically, except it's really awful, folks. So that's the idea. So this is the start of a bigger journey. Then during the year I've got to save up some money. Haven't saved anything yet, but the plan is once I've got my Irish citizenship, which will be happening on the 23rd of this month of June, it's a week from now, I'll be getting my Irish citizenship. Once I've got that, it's applying for a passport, and then I'm flying over to Poland to go and look at a trike there. The trike I am looking at, or my heart's set on, and basically it's on a wish list. It's the bike I wish for, but I'm going to do everything in my power to get this bike. And I'm the type of person, when I decide I'm going to get something or I'm going to do something, I actually do it. So I'm confident and certain I'm going to get the bike. But nevertheless, the people I'm going to go and see there, the people that make the trike, it's a company by the name of Decker's Trikes. They specialize in that type of thing. And I obviously could order it online or go and see them and pay them, and they send the bike here, but it's not going to be exactly what I need. And hectic. Weeds grow so fast. It's not going to be exactly what I need. So I'm going to go there, and I've already contacted the people, and they're looking forward for me to arrive and to discuss what I need. And we're going to modify the bike to the trike to exactly what I need. It's a Decker's fat trike. It's got 2 very powerful batteries, a powerful motor. The thing can reach speeds of up to 60 kilometers an hour, 300 kilometers on the charge, that sort of thing. But in Europe that will be kind of illegal, so what I'll have to do is we'll lock the bike out for the European, so I can ride it comfortably in the streets and things and treat it as a battery assist trike. I'm going to double up on, for example, the batteries. So instead of having 2 batteries, you got one on each side of you at the side next to the seat. I'm going to double up an extra battery on each side, and then maybe discuss for an extra battery in the middle of the trike. Now, okay, unlike this trike where you see the 2 wheels are sitting in the back, what's going to happen here? The trike, I'm getting the Decker's trike, the 2 wheels going to the front and 1 wheel at the back. And obviously, like I say, it's got shock absorbers. It's just a beast. It's a monster. It's a beautiful bike. It's not the lightest of bikes around. It's a high spec bike. It's made out of steel. A lot of it's steel, but it is designed for long distance and touring and that type of thing. The other bikes that I've seen, a little bit flimsy, a lot of work. And then obviously with the disease I've got and things like that, lung diseases and all the other nice to have stuff that's wrong with me, that will basically suit my needs. A lot of you people will say that it's actually I'm cheating. Maybe so, because I'm not doing what these youngsters do. But they're young, they fit, etc. I'm neither. I'm got a lung disease, COPD. As you saw in my last video, get out of breath very easy. I'm skinny, no muscle. Yeah, just bone. Might as well call me Bones, because that's what I am, but I'm going to do it all the same. So I don't have the physical strength like the youngsters do today. So, and obviously I don't have the funds, so I'm starting from scratch. This particular trike cost me €350. It was going to cost the actual going price was €450. The gentleman that sold it to us gave it to me for €350, which is very kind of him. and for now it's definitely gonna suit my needs, and it's really something I need. And like for the first 6-7 months, even if I get the other trike early, for let's say some miracle happens that I do get the other trike, my wish trike or my dream trike, I'm still going to have to practice on this thing.